Welcome to the Shadowlands. Our first tale tonight is called Shapeshifter, Slave to the Beast, Part 1. In the dark streets lurk a monster. It craves human flesh and always hungers. Many have met their end with the creature's jaws clamped around their throats. Police have looked for clues, but most of the bodies are half-eaten. Even the bite marks are hard to determine. The size of the bite is huge. Many have claimed wild dogs, but what dogs would attack an adult man in the city at night? One expert claimed it resembled a bear's bite, as only a bear could display such strength. But where would a bear hide in the city? Some even suggested a trained dog could do the damage. But the severity and viciousness of the dog, no, not even a dog or a wolf would attack with such reckless abandon. This creature has torn limbs from their sockets, leaving victims in pieces. Everyone was warned to stay inside at night. Even a curfew was established. But when you order people to stay inside, someone is going to rebel. Many more would die until the culprit was found. An officer was out one night patrolling when he heard a man scream. He ran to the site without haste. What he saw was a true nightmare. The beast towered over the man, his great claw lifting the victim high into the air. The officer shot several times into the beast, but all it did was drop the bleeding man. The creature turned and stared from the shadows. It was the size of a brown bear, but the face was different, almost wolf-like. It had the build of a very large man, a very hairy man. The creature turned and stared out from the shadows, out at the officer. Its claws were the size of a bear's, but slender, almost human. Blood dripped from his body, no doubt from bullet penetration. It returned to the shadows, and then a large trash can came flying toward the officer. It knocked the man down as the beast left with his prey. The officer followed a trail of blood, but it ended as the creature cleared a 10 or 15-foot wall in the alleyway. Radiant for backup and to collect evidence of the paw print in the mud. All the officers laughed when they heard the story, but no one laughed when they saw the paw print. It was canine, and judging by the indentation in the mud, the beast must have weighed over 400 pounds. Martial law went into effect immediately. Anyone caught out of their homes or business at night would be interrogated. The only problem with this idea, the beast needed to feed. Patrols of 2 officers would roam the night where people would populate most. The creature did not stay satisfied long, though. It soon struck again, and also was attacked, and the other one was knocked away. The second officer fired and made the beast stop. Standard issue was no longer used, but heavy rounds of 44 and 45 Magnum were. The beast roared and charged at the officer. He then aimed his weapon, a 44, with hollow point rounds. The beast stopped and staggered, allowing the other officer to unload his 45 rounds into the back. Cries of pain roared, and other officers heard the noise. They ran as fast as they could. The bleeding beast tried to flee, as more officers rounded the corner. Several unloaded rounds into the creature. Causing it to howl and stagger even more. Blood littered the ground as this beast from hell lunged at the closest officer. No contact was made, for the creature fell on the ground, landing in dirt and mud. It moved no more. The men checked on the unlucky officer that was attacked. Looking back, they made a horrible discovery. Old street lamps cast light upon the alley where everyone stood. They saw plainly what laid at their feet was becoming something different. The hands and body grew smaller, and the face contorted. Fur began to recede back into the body, as all stood shocked and perplexed. The beast was now a man. It was one of the local butchers, and everyone present knew him. One officer poked the man with a nightstick. He did not move. Although no one wanted to say it, they all knew what everybody was thinking. This, believe it or not, is a werewolf. When the men felt they were safe, they were proven wrong. Throughout the night, there was a monstrous howl, eerie and louder than any beast they heard before. Then there was another, followed by two more howls, echoing in unison, haunting the night's air. The officers backed into each other, making a circle while everyone reloaded. The sound stopped, but no one dare move. That was the last anyone heard of the great beast, as the pack decided to move to new hunting grounds. In the cellar of the butcher shop were several half-eaten corpses. Some were even baked. Into pies. Several pies remain unfinished. More than a few officers have bought pies from this butcher. They got sick right there on the floor of the shop. For then they realized those pies did taste a little weird. I hope you enjoyed that, my friends. Now we go to part 2. Do stick around. In the deep forests of North America and Canada, legends of Sasquatch can be heard. But this is another legend about a beast just as strong and elusive. Few have ever witnessed it change, as a secret must remain. But I doubt even a Sasquatch would threaten it. The Kodiak Archipelago is a group of islands about 190 miles south of Anchorage, Alaska. It has large bison, elk, and gigantic Kodiak bears in those woods. It also has tales of Sasquatch and mysterious tracks that disappear after you follow them. We were in no doubt bear country. The largest bears in the world. Now the Kodiak brown bear is a monster, standing at 10 feet tall and weighing up to or over 1,500 pounds. While not aggressive, they are still quite dangerous. We did find some unusual tracks, large and human-like. We were packing some heavy ammo. After all, we were hunting bison. We had shot and killed a young bull, weighing about 800 to maybe 900 pounds, I guess. We almost had him chained up to my ATV Polaris Sportsman 4-wheeler when we heard a crash through the tree line. A Kodiak brown bear looking to steal our prize. We yelled and made noise, but he ignored it. We were already reloaded, so he shot the beast. My fellow hunter was attacked as his rifle jammed. I unloaded round after round into the beast. It slowed down, but would not stop. In a few seconds, he was on me, and I was very lucky that I had my handgun on my side. The beast grabbed my arm, crushing it in his mouth, and the next shot was pure luck. I shot him in the lungs as he mauled me. I unloaded all 6 rounds into that massive chest. Oh, he fell, dragging me down with him. In seconds, the bear was dead. My companion was too. I tied a tourniquet on my arm best I could, gathering my guns. I had lost a lot of blood. It was very, very lucky to be alive. I limped and then had to crawl back to my ATV. I drove fast and hard to a ranger station, but my head became dizzy as I drove. I figured it was the blood loss, for now my arm had gone completely limp. I fell off the machine and onto the ground. My eyes closed, and I thought that would be the last time I ever took my final breath. I woke in a cabin in front of a nice fire. I could feel my arm, the one mauled. The wounds were clean, and I smelled food cooking. I was hungry. It seemed that I've not eaten for many days. There was a man standing in the kitchen doorway. He was not built like a bodybuilder, but still a very large man. He motioned for me to eat. I thanked him. He only nodded. He spoke to me as I ate. I had been out for 3 days. I had a fever, and he found herbs to help get me better. He also told me I had to become something else. I asked him what he meant. He pointed to my arm and said I was bitten by the man bear. I almost laughed, but I did not have the energy. He asked me if I had seen the tracks, the human ones that disappeared. I said yes, but thought nothing of it. He explained that now I am one of the beasts of the land, and soon I will join the forest. That is when I laughed, as he was only speaking in riddles. He quickly stood up and pointed toward a carving over the fireplace. It was a man and a bear, and then a carving of a man with a bear's head. I told him he was crazy. I wanted to leave, but then he laughed. He walked toward the door and told me to watch the moon. I yelled for him to come back, even ran after him, but he was gone. His tracks ran for the woods. I did not feel like or had the strength to chase him down. So I stayed in the cabin, eating what food was left. I would walk out and get firewood, but come right back inside. My strength returned quickly. In fact, too quickly. I am sure the wound would take longer to heal, but it was gone. No scars, nothing to even show that I had one. Something else was strange too. I could smell things I never noticed before, like the wooden furniture in the cabin. I hear birds and animals outside very clear. I even felt stronger. Oh, I felt a lot stronger. I would walk into the woods and hear the animals from far away. Everything had a smell to it. Was I going crazy? The moon became full and more full by the nights that passed, until it was a glowing beacon in the sky. It called to me, beckoning me to come outside, inviting me to hunt. No guns, just me. I wanted to run and tear through the night, to smell all the forest, to be free of this slow body, these weak limbs, and this small frame. I was larger than this, stronger and faster. I stood under her bright light, for the moon was alive, and she was my goddess now. I fell upon the ground, dropping to my knees in pain. The voice said, I must be remade, so that I can be free. Bones popped. My teeth and gums stretched. I screamed through the night. Pain. So much pain, unlike any I've ever felt before. Even when the bear attacked me. The bear, that giant brown monster that terrified me so bad. I lay in pain. Until I didn't think I could take any more. But then it was gone. I looked up to the sky, and my goddess smiled upon me. I stood on 4 legs, then on 2. I was taller. My arms and legs were stronger, my body heavier, and my hunger Oh, my hunger was so great. I stood there and yelled, but it was a roar instead. A roar to let every animal, every beast, even the unknown ones, that I was here. I was a forest. I dropped the four legs and ran faster than I ever thought I could, tearing through brush and limbs. My paws dug up dirt as I ran. My paws, with great claws on them. I ran far and I ran hard. Thirst came upon me as I stopped and found a cool stream to drink from. Then I heard it. It came because of my roar. My proclamation of a new life. Something large, something heavy, stomped through the forest. I stopped, standing tall. It looked at me through the trees. Its eyes met mine as we sized each other up. His long arms were stronger than mine used to be, as was his legs and feet. It smelled of a cautious creature, not food, maybe a predator. It looked at me and grunted, waving long, muscular arms. I roared, raising my claws up to the sky, to her in the sky. We stared, motionless. But we were not enemies. We were brothers. We were the forest. It turned and walked away. I heard it join others of its kind, a family that walked away together. I dropped down and drank the ice-cold water. So cool, so refreshing. It was then that I saw my reflection. But it was not a man that looked in that river. The face of a great Kodiak bear looked back at my reflection. But my eyes, they were as they always were. Those hazel eyes that looked so human stared back at me. And it was then that I smiled. For I knew I was finally home. If you enjoyed that, please feel free to subscribe, like, or hit the notification bell if you want to hear more of my stories.